It's quite a large carp that we've just kicked off with there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, boy!
This series, we're touring the mecca of colossal carp.
A pomme de terre.
France.
Mwah! Magnifique.
We'll travel the length and breadth of the country with just scaly beasts on our minds.
I'm blown away. Blown away. This is true insanity.
I'm Ali Hamidi.
That is an absolute donkey.
I'm Tom Dove.
What is going on?
And I'm Neil Spooner.
Grand fromage.
Together we'll scour the country's spellbinding options.
Let's do a little countdown.
And we'll pick the ultimate venues with the biggest brutes. Yeah! Mind-bending targets will be set.
We're knocking it up to 70 pounds.
PBs will be shattered. In our biggest ever monster carp.
I think this could be a PB.
Now, his PB is £79, so he could be playing the big un.
Our fantastic French road trip was in full flow, and this week we were heading to the Champagne region in search of the creme de la creme. Not bottles of booze, but big, beautiful carp. And our main venue holds some unbelievably massive carp to over £70, and one over £80. Real elite level carping. And en route to the main event, we made a pit stop to have a one-day fishing match to decide swims for the main carp event later. Our arena for this match was the Aquarium Carp Fishery, a 14-acre gravel pit. Being winter, the freezing cold water can make targeting most species a massive challenge. But our quarry for the day were classic cold water predators. The perch, otherwise known as the sergeant for its stripy camo body, is an aggressive pred that grows to a maximum size of around 6 pounds. The pike, the apex freshwater predator. With rows of razor-sharp teeth, they can grow up to 6 feet in length and to over 70 pounds. The match rules were simple. Well, quite simple. The biggest combined weight of the single biggest perch and pike would win.
Very intricate rules because you could catch a massive, massive pike and someone could gazump you with a little pike and a tiny perch. So it's about catching both species.
Swims were drawn and poor old Dovey was in the middle peg and the only team member not to have caught a French 70-pounder.
Could this be the trip it all turns around for you?
I don't know why it needs to turn around. I've been doing pretty well up until now. I'm going to skip the 70s and go to the 80s.
You know, 70s club, it's a prestigious club, isn't it? And really, until you sort of enter those sort of levels, it's Champions League, yeah? And then you're sort of like, I don't know, bored, like everyone's caught 60, ain't they?
Yeah.
Barry from Billericay, yeah? He goes to France once every 2 years, probably caught loads of 60s. So you're in that elite group, basically.
Yeah. That non-elite group.
Elite group of everyone that's been to France.
Everyone that's ever been to France.
Right, worry about your own fishing and we'll talk at the end of the
let's catch some
trip.
pike and perch.
End of the trip?
End of the
We'll
trip.
talk then.
All right.
All right.
Dovey's been a little bit unlucky this morning already. He's managed to get the middle swim. We're all fishing tightly together, so me and Al have got a nice margin that we can focus on the perch. Dovey's got none of that, and on top of that, he ain't had a 70 either.
They're giving me grief at the minute about not having caught a 70 before, and they're also giving me grief about being in the middle swim. I don't stand much of a chance today, but I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm going to win this match, and I'm going to go and catch a 70-pounder after. We were all going to be fishing 2 rods each, a dead bait under a float for the pike and a maggot feeder for the perch, with either a worm or maggots as hook bait. Spoons, Al, ready to go?
Bomb ready, baby.
Feeder's loaded.
Oh, that's a lovely cast, Tom.
It's lovely.
That's my water.
I'm going to try not to cast this fish up a tree. Oh, my fish has come off. Bloody, would you believe it? A flying start for that fish.
If preds were in the area, it wouldn't be long before we saw some action.
Here we go. Yes, good, son. Lucky cast. Oh, and it's a pike. And Tom, move your rod off my net. That's well bad cheating. Right, let's get the scores underway. Go on, boy. It's in your mind, and we're on the scoreboard. Well, there we go. Probably not the prettiest one we're ever going to see. It's been through the wars. Something's attacked it there, but 4 pounds, 10 ounces. We are in a temporary lead, I would say.
Hours off the mark, which is great. What's even greater, £4.10, very beatable.
10 minutes later, and after a tactical change, was my lead about to get extended?
I've only got fluorocarbon now as hook link, so not the wire trace that you normally use for predators with their teeth, so this could come off at any point. We can set it up for a perch, but it's hooked perfectly, and that's loads bigger than my first one.
That is a nice size fish, that.
Indeed it was. It weighed in at 8 pounds, 5 ounces.
I'd say that one's probably a female, and they're not far from the time of year that they spawn, so what a lovely fish. Look at that.
Then the pike in the lake seemed to switch on.
Oh, get in. But then as Spooner landed his first, I had mine.
Get in there and chin it like a proper gangster.
No, you're joking.
Come on, mate. Get in there and chin it like a gangster.
I need this on the leaderboard, so I'm just about to catch a £3 perch. Bosh. Spooner's pike weighed in at 4 pounds 12 ounces, which put him in second place. But hang on, mine weighed in at 4 pounds 13 ounces, which is an ounce over Spooner's, which takes second place for me. Spoon, do you want to come and have a look at this quick?
No, I want you to re-weigh it. I want it re-zeroed.
Yes! Right, that's second place. All I need is a perch now.
And I immediately countered with my second pike.
I hope it's £4.40.
But it was actually
£5, 6 ounces. Don't know if you heard that, Tom.
Well, I'm back in third position then, lovely.
Now it's a match.
So the leaderboard currently looks like this.
Directly after followed more predator pandemonium. I landed 2 more pike in quick succession.
Just cleaning up here, it's a joke.
But neither beat my current leaderboard topping 8 pound 5 ouncer.
Next, I managed my second pike. It wasn't over 8 pounds, but was it bigger than Spooner's 5 pound 6? Dunno. And it weighed 6 pounds 2 ounces. So I've taken second place again. Someone needs a perch, but Spooner needs a bigger pike.
Need a lot of luck or a perch. I might put a little float out, see if we can catch even a tiny perch.
With less than an hour remaining, the leaderboard was sitting pretty for me.
Where were the perch? Even a tiny one would pretty much cement a solid first place.
Or even a pike of 8 pounds 6 ounces would knock Ali off top spot. Big fish. Come on. It's not bad.
Tom's got another pike on.
Looks meaty. Yeah, it's a good one, that.
Well, that's bigger than mine.
Get it in the net then. Oh, you was a bit slow there, boy.
Damn. That looks bigger than mine. That is bigger.
I don't think it is.
That is. That's close.
Was it going to be ours 8 pounds 5 ouncer? It was looking mega close.
Take every leaf out. Take them leaves out, mate. Take them leaves out, you idiots. Oi, look, that's bark. That weighs loads, mate. That weighs loads. Oi, that's a massive bit of bark. Right.
Was it zeroed with or without the bark, though?
No, no, no.
With it. This is the thing now, I'm down.
You're an ounce down.
Heavier.
Damn, it doesn't matter about the bark.
Damn.
Because we are 9 ounces over our 8 pound 14 ounces. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A little corridor in the middle. That'll do for me. Somebody catch a perch, would they?
Can't argue with that.
Unfortunately for us, no more pike were caught. I felt robbed. And to really hammer the win home, Dovey, after switching to a float.
It's a perch! Quick, get it in the net! Quick! No! Yeah! What a cracking looking little perch. Big old mouth, big red fins, a spiky dorsal at the top. Thank you very much, mate. You might have just caught me my first 70-pounder.
That was the final fish of the comp, and the standings look like this, meaning Dovey got first choice on the main carp lake. Damn it.
They were giving me stick all morning, but who ended up winning? Not them.
We were in the Hauts-de-France region as part of our French carp tour, and after Dovey won the Predator match, he now had first choice at the main lake, and we were en route there now.
We're 5–10 minutes away from a hat full of 70-pounders in a very small lake. I've got first choice of swim. Life is good.
Our journey took us deep into the world-renowned Champagne region, but bottles of bubbly wasn't on the agenda. It was huge carp, and this area was rife with them. The perfect climate for grape growing was also perfect for carp, and it's no wonder so many big carp holiday venues were located here.
Someone is going to catch something very special.
We had arrived at Crete Lakes, a 130-acre complex holding multiple monster carp across 5 well-stocked lakes. We were booked onto Lake 1, and this particular water is 9 acres with depths of 5 to 12 feet.
The stock here sounds quite incredible. 400 plus carp, with 25 to 30 estimated at over 60 pounds, with at least 5 being over the magical 70-pound mark. And with the lake record being a mind-blowing 85-pound, 12-ounce monster, a fish called the Unknown that would obliterate all of our PBs.
Whenever we get to come on one of these adventures, we always set ourselves a target, and this trip is no different, but we're going straight for the top. We want a 60-pounder.
I know the lads have set the team target at 60 pound because they probably want to catch some 60s, but I've caught them all over the globe, multiple different countries unlike them, so I'd quite like just to leapfrog that and go straight to 70 pound, if I'm honest.
If he leaves here without a 70, I mean, there ain't too many more places we can go to where we can lay it on a plate for him like this. It's for him to lose, really.
We had earmarked a trio of swims to choose from, and I went for the commanding swim 3. In this instance, it's nice to have a lot of water to my disposal, and that's exactly why I've gone in this swim. There's a lot of water out here, and I'm confident that throughout the week, the fish are going to end up to the right-hand side of the lake.
I had second choice and went for swim 10, as it had big fish form.
The big one has been known to be caught in this area, and I'm really not interested in catching the most. All I want is to be quite selective and catch the biggest.
And lastly, I opted for swim 1. Tucked away in a corner, but it still commanded a nice bit of water. Fingers crossed it produces.
Being winter, the lake rules allow the use of natural baits. They're highly digestible, mega attractive, and the carp love them during these colder months, so we came loaded. Granted, this looks absolutely disgusting to a human, but to a carp, it's really not. There's loads of maggots in there, casters and chopped worm, and some of the mud in there as well to hold all of them juices. It looks disgusting, but carp love it this time of year.
So we all got to work getting our own variations of bait mix onto our spots to get the party started.
Towards the middle of the lake was a slightly raised bottom. Even some structure was enough to hold carp, so it was an obvious place for us all to target.
Then finally was the business end. We were all going for our tried and tested spinner rigs, but with different hook baits.
For me, small yellow boilies to mimic the sweet corn in my mix, and also big old juicy dendrobina worms.
So I'm going to ring the changes throughout the trip. Hopefully something becomes more prevalent, start to get more bites on something, and then you can start to tweak and get more rods on the going method. But until then, that's what I'm going with.
After crushing the hook barbs, I was first out the blocks to get my rods in.
It's not a race, Spooner.
It is when there's an 80-pounder swimming about in here. While the others were still getting set, I was already away on the worm hook bait.
Well, that didn't take long.
It wasn't fighting very hard. In fact, it feels pretty weird.
I don't know if it's definitely a carp. It's not. It's a massive eel. Is that a monster carp first?
I think it is, Spoons. You're welcome to that title, mate. Neil the Eel.
Definitely not what we're here for, but that can be the issue when you use really natural baits. Everything in the lake will eat it, including slimy old eels.
As Spoons put his specimen eel back, Dovey and I finally got our rods out into the sea of giants, and the anticipation was now really starting to build.
Any time that alarm bleeps in here, there could be a 60 or 70 pounder on the end, so it's on the edge of your seat stuff. As dusk set in, old Neil Spooner was having a western, trying to land his second slimy sucker of the session.
Eels can clearly swim backwards. I think that's the end of the worm hook, mate. All rods were now going on to mini yellow pop-ups.
Then just into dark, and I've got a carp on. This one is definitely not an eel. If it is, it's a record eel. This is exciting stuff, this. First bite from a carp. Never know how big it's going to be. It does actually feel quite heavy. Let's just nab a 70 straight away and shut them two up, and then start thinking about the 80. First glimpse of the fish, and it looked massive. Come on. Don't play up. Look at the size of that. That's close to 50 pound, I think, if not over. All right, are you done? Come on, big old boy. Get in that net. Yes. Yes. Off the mark. And it's not an eel. Oh, my God. That's a big one.
What a first capture, and it looked extremely close to our 60-pound target.
It's about 56 pounds, 12 ounces. Come on. What a way to start that is. How about that for the first bite? It wasn't an eel like Neil's. It was a big old 56 pound, 12 ounce carp. How big are the fish in here if this is the first bite? Seriously. What a beauty. Look at that. Across the back. That's a proper old fish. Mwah. Yes. Only £3 4 ounces off the 60-pound target. Surely this was a sign of good things to come.
The night passed with no more action for anyone, but once the morning light was upon us, the carp started to show themselves, directly over my left-hand spot. I'd added some sweet corn to my spot mix and switched to mini yellow boilie hook baits on all my rods to hopefully avoid the eels.
Come on, Spooner, pick the rod up.
Oh, nice, brisk morning. I'm not going to call it as a carp yet because it could just be a bigger eel. But it feels more carp-like.
After a short, dogged battle, she was ready for the net. It weren't half bad either.
Yes, yes. I say it every time, but the first one is always the most important.
Good, my little bait tweak worked. And this French beauty weighed in at 47 pound 8 ounces. And it was an unusual carp too.
Well, that is probably my biggest ever leather carp. So cool because it's got 0 scales on it, with the little fins. It's a bit of a genetic freak. A bit like Ali. Didn't really know what to expect so early in the session. I know there's a lot of fish in here. I know there's a lot of big fish in here, but it's still coming out of winter. The water's still really cold. To get off the mark that quickly is not only a result, but I've now got a good idea of what to do going forward.
Let's hope going yellow will be the key to the 60-pound target.
An amazing start to the session for the lads, especially as we'd thought it'd be slow due to the carp still coming out of their winter slumber. Not even a beep from my indicators yet, and I was beginning to wonder why. Had I made any wrong decisions, tonight would be key.
At just past 2 a.m, I managed my second carp.
Yes, yes.
It weighed in just shy of 50 pounds at 49.12, my biggest so far.
Then at 4 a.m, I banked my second of the trip. And just as dawn was breaking... Yes, you've done that. Fish number 3. I safely retained both carp so I could have a proper look in the morning light.
Bit doom and gloom here. That's 5 fish caught from the 2 lads and nothing from me, so I feel a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest. I don't know the answers, and that's the worst thing as an angler, when you don't know why you haven't caught, because you start questioning everything.
Al's not got off the mark yet. We're all fishing essentially the same. It can only be down to lack of carp activity in front of him, but it's not a very big lake. They're going to be moving around. I think his luck's going to turn pretty soon.
Well, my luck was on a roll. The first in the night was 47 and this one was just shy of £53. Go and tell your mates to give ours a go. It's getting a bit depressed over there.
I was feeling low, to be fair, so I thought I'd buzz the boys for a little morale boost in Chinwag.
Oi, oi, Savaloys.
Salam alaikum, Mr. Boys.
How you doing?
I didn't expect to be going to bed and waking up without any fish. I've got to be honest, this morning I thought, first night, yeah, I let him have that. Second night, I was expecting action, so... And then when others catch, you know what that feels like, boys, don't you?
No.
Nah.
Really don't.
All right, mate. Well, I can assure you it's quite a low feeling.
It's very early days, mate, and I think we are